Hi dear ones, I'm Amy Rose White, Integrative Psychotherapist. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about why you should forget hustle culture. I have a bone to pick with hustle culture. I hate it. I don't think it's helpful. I think it's detrimental. I think it's killing us as an American society. Yeah, I don't have strong feelings about it. So I wanted to talk today about why it's really, really important to reconsider if you have bought into this hustle culture mentality. I especially see this in my younger clients, but it's really infiltrating all of us to think that we got to grind to make it out there and to be successful and to be our best, like whatever. I don't know where this came from. I have a lot of theories involving the patriarchy and colonialism, but today I'm really just going to talk about why it sucks and what else we can do. So one, why it's terrible. It's based on really crappy core beliefs. Now, in cognitive behavioral therapy, which a lot of us therapists use in our practice, we believe that there are these core beliefs, unconscious core beliefs that are driving our behavior at all times. They're usually formed in the first 7 years of life, and they are often really helpful for us to get through and cope and survive early part of our life in childhood. But later down the road, they don't work so well. And so these crappy core beliefs that I think hustle culture represents is things like, I'm only worthy if I'm struggling and suffering. I have to prove that I'm good enough by being busy all of the time. Success only comes through total exhaustion and, dragging myself here and there to do. And even the belief hard work always pays off. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, my friends. I'm really sorry to say it. I've known a lot of people that have worked their butts off and either not achieved much, been sorely disappointed, or gotten very, very sick in the process. The reality is good things happen to bad people. And success doesn't always come from slaving to a theory, an ideology, a plan, a business, an employer. It just doesn't. It's really hard to pinpoint what makes the most successful people, but I would say it's belief in self and taking the other steps I'm going to talk about in the next couple minutes of the video, because this is a short one. But proving our worthiness through stress, through turmoil, through depletion, that equals having very poor boundaries, which is a no-no for healthy, happy individuals and family units. It means martyrdom. Oh, I've worked so hard. I've sacrificed for you. I should be getting something in return. And it makes us sick. I can tell you countless numbers of stories, myself included, where running ourselves into the ground, even for a cause that we really believe in, or a business, or a person, or a relationship, or whatever it is, that we're just working. Ultimately, the body will say no, because it's not sustainable to sacrifice our physical needs, our emotional needs, our psychological needs, and our spiritual needs in the name of hustling and achievement and success. And I would invite us to really renegotiate our definition of success. What is it for you? This is a journal exercise. Is it money? Is it status? Is it fame and fortune? Is it financial freedom? Because I'll tell you, I work with a lot of people that technically have more money in the bank than they could ever need, and they are still really crippled with anxiety and fear. So their success hasn't really bought them much, because their internal narrative around lack and scarcity and never being enough, no matter what, those unconscious beliefs, they're driving their lives. They're driving the show. It's not really about even the physical realities of success and trappings in their lives. So we need to ask ourselves, what serves us more truly in terms of our values? If it's important to you to be present and watch your kids grow up and have good memories with them, is hustle culture serving you? If your desire is to have joy in your life and embrace all the beauty that nature has for us, is hustle culture serving you? If you have a value system to share love with others. Can you do that when you are totally run dry all the time? And Gabor Mate wrote a beautiful book called When the Body Says No, which is really the scientific correlation between unexpressed emotions and people that don't have boundaries around saying no, and chronic disease states, especially including heart disease and cancer. So we now know that really hustle culture actually is killing us. Saying yes when we mean no, having no limits, whether it's work, service, church, however that's showing up in your life, that actually will have a physiological impact on us that can be devastating. So I propose a new way. I'm really hoping that we get rid of, I know cancel culture is also a thing, so I was going to call this cancel hustle culture, but then I thought that would be weird. But you get the point. So I would like to suggest, and this has been my personal experience, as well as watching so many of the hundreds of people, probably thousands at this point, of folks that I've worked with, that success certainly comes through hard work that is divinely inspired, or inspired action, if the word divinely is too woo-woo for you. But when all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and you're like, I should reach out to so-and-so, or I have this good idea, and you just open a piece of paper and all of a sudden new ideas come and you're just in the flow. That's inspired action. That's when we're working with enthusiasm and drive. When we just start to write the first sentence of a book we've always wanted to write, and then the rest starts coming. That's not hustling, even though it's hard work, because it comes from an internal source of energy and motivation, and I would say even joy and pleasure. Let me grab it. I have a little book of literally hundreds. Well, this is a new one, so it's partially blank. Let me grab where's my big one? I'm not supposed to do this while I'm filming a live video. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I want to show you my first YouTube inspiration idea notebook. It literally has hundreds and hundreds of ideas. Now, I've made probably 40 videos at this point at the time of recording this. And you can see that when I have an idea, I put it in the book. And then when I go to film, if it's 1 or 5 videos at a time, which is what I try to do, I pick the one that is really, I just flip through it and I pick the one that really speaks to me. Or sometimes like today, that was never in here. I just woke up thinking about it, how angry I feel that people burn themselves out for the idea of hustle culture. And I was excited about that one. So that's the one I chose to record today. So that's what I'm talking about, divinely inspired action. It's not about not working. It's about not forcing yourself, not beating yourself, not berating yourself to hustle. And I would argue that when I wake up and I have time to do the readings that I enjoy and light a candle and I set my intention for the day and I meditate and I do some feminine energy practices and I read my daily readers and I take my vitamins and I drink my lemon water. Okay, I've not woken up and hustled. I'm actually filling myself up first. And then all the inspiration flows. And sometimes I have to condense that into a 5 or 10 or 15-minute version, depending on what's going on in my life. But I always notice if I've skipped it. And I try to keep the commitment to myself of really nourishing myself and connecting to myself and to the divine and to nature so that I can pay attention to the next thing, the next person that I should reach out to that I just think about, that email that I've been meaning to send that I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to connect to that person. Now I'll do it. That's where my personal success has come from. I am very privileged that, although this is in the very infancy of my channel, I didn't start it to create new clients. That would be lovely if it happens in the future, but my success has not come through hustling. I have had a very full practice since its inception, and I can only say that's maybe luck if you believe in that, and also just really practicing what I'm telling you about right now, trusting that the people that need me will find me, and giving from the heart. And I think that is what has led to me having, a modicum of success that allows me to feel inspired to do this project, which was really a quarantine project and a way of connecting to clients in between sessions that I'm no longer physically seeing, as well as potentially having a way to access people to share future offerings that I haven't even made yet, but I will. So I'm going to encourage you to really think about and listen to your body's natural state of following what it needs and what that inspired action is. And sometimes that inspired action is to lay in bed all day if you can, because that is what leads to fulfillment. That's what leads to lower cortisol levels. That is the ease that we can find in our body that's going to be sustainable. Because I'm telling you, you're not going to be hustling at 80 and feeling well. You want to find something that can last, that is doable. Hustle culture, isn't it? I hope that this has been helpful for you. Please comment and share and let me know what you think about this. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking. I really appreciate your feedback and ideas for future videos. I'll put them in my book, I promise. Until next time, may you be well, may you be happy, and may you be at peace. Bye for now.